everybody, I'm Go Veer Go Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a very special unboxing of a brand new Canadian product. This is the SD50F from Aurora Miniatures in HO scale. We're going to open these boxes up, take a look, and see what you get and how prototypical they are, and we'll test out the sounds and the functions, and we'll maybe even see it pulling some freight as well. So stick around, here we go. First and foremost, we'll take a look at the packaging because it does look a little different from their past run. So this is the box from the SD50F, where you've got more of a, it's almost like an ink paint of a locomotive, and it's in color, where you go to a little bit more of a crisper, grayed out. Same picture, it's a little bit, the logo's a little bit farther back, so it's not as close up of a shot. And then when you look at the end of the box here, you've just got your information, Aurora Miniatures, CN stripes, CN sound. But when you take a look at the SD50, you've got a full color photo side drawing of the actual locomotive that's in the box. Very cool, and it's all based off of which locomotive you get, of course. So it's a lot easier for shops to say, okay, this is the one you're looking for. And if you have a lot of boxes and you're just going off of the side, instead of reading it, you'll see the physical picture of it right there, which is really cool. Okay, so you can see both versions that I've got here. The top one being the North American CN scheme, and the bottom one being the Zebra that everyone calls. So with both of these, they're actually different, and I'm going to go over that difference in a moment here. But what we have is basically just the plastic clamshell. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove them because they are screwed in place from the bottom into the fuel tank just to hold them during shipping. You can also see that there is a piece of foam here just to make sure it doesn't get banged around. So that's really nice of them to do that as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to remove them from their packaging. There's no extra booklet or anything like that, no extra decals, but there's a few extra parts which I'll go over as well if you want to add those. Take a look at our first SD50 locomotive, but just wanted to give you a bit of information first. So the SD50Fs were built by General Motors Diesel Division in London, Ontario, and they were built in two separate batches, starting in 1985 and then again in 1987. It was a Canadian variant of the EMD SD50 six-axle diesel electric freight locomotive, and this one is nicknamed the Draper Taper after CN's chief of motive power at the time. It has a full width cowl body and cab with a tapered section immediately behind the cab for improved visibility. A total of 60 units were built, all for Canadian National Railway. They saw extensive mainline freight service on the CN network across Canada and in the United States. They were retired by CN in 2008. A limited number of locomotives still operate today with second-hand owners. Available in this run, there is going to be two different versions of this CN striped locomotive. There is this one here, which is the SD50 AF, which there are two numbers available. This is 5502. It's basically 5502 and 5503. And then there's the regular CN stripes, but it's the SD50F. We have one number in this paint scheme, which is the North American paint scheme. You can see because there's the map of North America on the side there. And there was also one number done of just the CN noodle, which looks the exact same, except there's no North American map. There was also a Dakota, Missouri Valley, and Western that was done in two different versions. One of the SD50F and one done in the SD50AF. Now I guess you're wondering what the difference is between an SD50F and an SD50AF. The SD50AF is basically a rebuilt version of the SD60F. The SD60 had a 645 horsepower prime mover, where these now have a 710. So it's mostly internal, but you'll be able to hear the difference. These were retired in 2017. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the MSRP up on screen for you so that you know how much these cost. The MSRP in American for a DC version of this locomotive is $249.99, and the MSRP for a DCC sound version is $329.99. In Canadian, that converts to an MSRP of $349.99 for a DC logo and $459.99 for a DCC and sound. DCC sound versions of this locomotive come equipped with ESU Lock Sound version 5 DCC sound decoder. It also comes with dual sugar cube speakers. The DC version also comes equipped with dual sugar cube speakers that are not active, but you can add any 21-pin decoder and they will become active. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the key features here, some of the key points. Basically, they were designed by prototype drawings and photos and other resource material. So you're getting a very detailed, very accurate looking locomotive. There is a large amount of separately applied details to these, including the windshields. There are mirrors, windshield wipers, sand hatches. This is the draped part here, the tapered, the draper tapered part, where you can actually see out the back window. So yeah, more visibility out the back. There's a lot of separately applied grab irons up the back and the side. There's lift rings right across the top there. And of course, now the horn here, it was relocated. So you can also see the airline for that. It's physically right on top there. It does show up a little bit better on the American unit because the body of it is gray and the airline hose is white. So it stands out really, really well, which is pretty cool. We'll get a closer look at the trucks, but they are the EMD DeFasco HTC with traction motor detail. And there's also the brake chain, but it's on the other side, so we'll get a look at that. Of course, there's the MU hoses, train line hose, coupler cut lever, sanding lines, and very nice plow right on the front there. Now they're equipped with Aurora Janey scale head replica couplers. A lot of people just prefer KDs. You can always change it, it's not a big deal. And then it also has a 5-pole skew wound motor with dual flywheels and an all-wheel power pickup on all axle drive. Now typically these could run on an 18-inch radius, but it is recommended that you use a 22-inch or higher just for better operation. Here's a better look at that back truck with the chain detail. There's also roller bearing caps that do rotate when the locomotive is in motion, which is very, very nice as well. And let's talk about the lighting. They're all LEDs. We've got the headlights, ditch lights, number boards. There are tricolor class lights, the red, green, and white. We'll see those in action. There's also step lights, ground lights, a cab light, and a locomotive control desk, which is very nice as well for that inside detail. And of course, these also have rotating fans in the back there, and we'll get a look at those as well. Okay, so now that there is power going to the track, we're going to try lighting this up with some of the lighting functions. So as always, 0 is going to be the headlight, and it is on there, perfect. And then we've got ditch lights, which are F6, and they are on now, which is great. Now the class lights, you have to cycle them, so you push it once, push it twice, and then you push it a third time, and you're basically cycling through it, and then off. The red kind of gets bled out a bit because of the red around it, but yeah, it still looks good. And then of course you've got sounds. So your sounds, F1 of course is going to be your bell. And then your horn is F2. Very good, very clean. And then F3, my favorite, the coupler. And of course it makes two different sounds, one to unlock and one to unlock. F4, dynamic brakes. F7, another good one, is the flange squeal, but I'll put that on when we start moving. The prime mover, which is F8, so right now it's silent. We won't turn that on yet. F9 is the drive hold. F10 is your independent brakes. F11 is radiator fans. We'll get a closer look at that in a minute. F12 is your dimmer, so it'll basically dim the lights on the front there. F13 will be your step lights. Let's see if I can do it here. So that's F13. There we go. Kind of turns on right at the top step there. F14 is your handbrake. F15 is isolation switch. F16 is disable air dryer on shutdown. 17 is your brake set. 18 is the sanding valve. 19 short air let off. F20 is compressor. Air dryer for 21. Cab door and cab light for F22. So I think we can try that. So the cab light comes on there, and it also makes a sound, and then you turn it off to shut it, which is kind of cool. F23 is the engine compartment doors. The F24 is the reverse center. F25 shutters open. F26 is run 8, manual notch up. F27 for coasting, and F28 for manual notching. All right, let's get a listen to that prime mover, and we're gonna do the startup with F8. So it's not very loud, but because it is ESU, I'll just have to check the volume of it and see if that can be turned up at all. I'm also going to hit F7, which is for the flange squeal. And I'm going to roll forward a little bit here, and you'll be able to hear the flange squeal as it's moving. You can kind of hear the compressor as well. Now it is kind of weird that the flange squeal and whatnot is much louder than the prime mover itself, but again, I'm going to see about adjusting that in the CV settings. The next thing that we want to take a look at are the fans that are right on the back here. There are 3 separate ones. Hitting F11 does turn them on, which is great. Now, I do want to just play this for you here because the fans are going right now and it's not making any sound whatsoever. It's completely quiet. All right, so here we have both units. I'm going to put them at a 2 speed step and we'll be able to see them moving forward. Now they haven't been broken in yet, but this is right out the box. And they're staying pretty close without one running a little bit quicker or a little bit slower than the other. Okay, and while we're here, this is the KD coupler height gauge. Seems to be spot on. Again, spot on. Spot on. Right now, what I'm going to do to close off the video, close off the review, is I'm going to run some freight and you'll be able to see them in action. I'll do some run bys. I'm Go Veer, Go Home. Thank you so much for watching, and we've got much more to come, so stick around. I've got a train to catch though. don't forget to check out other amazing products by Aurora Miniatures.